minutes.
Perf. We're going live, Sarah.
Sarah! Yes, everybody. Oh, my God. Yes. Woo! Oh, God. AJ! Woo! 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 Yes.
Okay.
Sarah from Hey
Frage. Hey, Frage.
It's a
Podcast.
Hey.
Not a cast pod. Hey, Frage. Every day.
She'll make you say
Oh, my God.
She's got the scoop.
Hey.
on pop culture news.
So grab a drink, it ain't what you say. It's Sarah and the crew. Oh my God, girlfriend. You are my crew and you're here. Yo, AJ's in the house, despite the fact she's got an oozing, pussing eye, y'all. Y'all need to hop on the YouTube live right now and give this chick some sort of advice. You've got to go to an eye doctor, girl. I'm worried.
Okay.
It is funky dunk in that eye.
It is Funky Dunk, Susstown, USA. So let me just say that I'm an at-home remedy girl, right? My parents, they never believed in the doctor, which is probably why my mom is blind at the age of 55.
This could be,
we're
this is a problem.
We're like, we don't need the institution. We don't need the man. We're going to solve it ourselves. No.
What do doctors know? They only go to school for like 25 years. They only pay hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We just believe in at-home remedies.
Science. It sucks.
Science, you know? We don't know what it is.
Science. It's the worst.
So I tried to go to urgent care this morning. One day out of the year, they have a medical conference out in the middle of, I don't know where it was, Texas. They're closed.
What urgent care is closed? They're all staffed with multiple people. You're
Thank
telling
you.
me you go to one in D.C. and it has nobody else?
Yes, DuPont Circle, closed.
Okay, show everybody your eye. I mean, you've got to look into the camera and show everyone your eye. People
everyone
are
ready
saying
for
it's
this?
a Mexican thing. What?
Okay, what do you guys, a Mexican thing? Look at this. Look
Only
at this eye.
Mexicans have eye issues? What's the deal?
I think, it can be super sensitive, right? It's like if Sarah used my makeup or if I used her makeup in Vegas, if I got a dust particle, shit was dusty out in Nevada. I feel like I just have a sty in my eye from a dust particle.
Girl, it's got to be something. It's got to be a little rock or something. Half of her eye is completely closed. One eye is like popping. It is like alive and well. And the other one is literally so like swollen shut, the top and the bottom. And it looks so red in the corner. And there's like half pus. I mean, sister, I don't even know what's going on. Okay, you look so, wow.
Isn't it so crazy?
It is hardly open.
From poppin' to not. Poppin'?
No, you have such big eyes too. And then that eye looks rough.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Oh, people are saying that it's a Mexican family thing. Christina Martinez is on our YouTube live. She says that her parents don't go to the doctor either.
Oh, yes.
Oh, so maybe it's a Hispanic thing.
They believe in like hibiscus and like all the plants and remedies.
Hibiscus.
Don't
you drink that?
They have this like red tea of like red leaves and they heat it up in hot water. They believe it cures literally every disease. Like you're like, oh, I got stomach cramps.
Hibiscus.
Drink the tea. Drink the tea. And like anything. Oh, my foot hurts. Drink the tea. I'm like, what is this? And also tons of prayers. My mom was like, it's okay, we'll say a rosary tonight. It'll heal right up. I'm like, will it?
No, it will not.
I believe fully in God. You guys know the Lord Jesus has my soul. But like, I don't know. I got to go to the doctor. So after today, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it tat. And I got to run over to another urgent care. We'll see.
You got to wrap a tat it. And that eye is nuts.
I mean, I've tried it all. Thank you guys for your listener submissions. I've had, Dr. Shelby heat up some rice, put it in a clean sock, use it as a heat compress, put tea bags on it, switch between hot and cold compresses. And you know what I did? Not a one of those damn things this weekend. I got wasted. And I put tons of makeup on, and you best believe I had fake lashes for the wedding. So yeah, I did not do anything good for my eye this weekend.
Oh my God. I was going to say, it does look like it's kind of getting worse. So maybe it's time to...
Yeah, maybe it's time to...
Yeah. Okay. Wow. You were in upstate New York for a wedding.
Lake Placid, stunning. I kind of want to move to upstate New York now. I know I hate the cold, but like going up there, and the whole time I was leaf peeping, and I thought of you and your mom.
Oh, well, I'm from New England. I'm a Mainer, so I leaf peep all the time.
You're a Mainer.
I'm a Mainer. I'm a maniac.
I was in a beautiful wedding. Here's a tree. Here's the beautiful trees. The ride up was so great. Okay, so the ride there.
Gorgeous.
I mean, beautiful. The leaves were already changed. The ride there was horrendous. I had a transfer point in Albany. The bus station got delayed for 5 hours. I didn't get to Syracuse until 5:30 in the morning Friday. And then we literally got on the road, got spray tans 9 a.m., headed up to Lake Placid.
I saw your Insta story and I don't know how you do it. I'm like, girl, I have been in bed. Like when you showed the 5:30, I'm like, I have been in bed since 8:15. Like I have slept a full 10 hours by the time. I don't know how you do
10 hours. I don't know either. No, I mean.
I don't know how.
In Albany, I thought I was going to die there. It was my last leg. You should see the Albany. Actually, don't ever go see the Albany bus station. It is a shit show.
Oh,
there's manhandlers. There's peddlers. There's every single type.
What is it, a circus show? There's just like people out there, manhandlers, peddlers. Like, what are they doing?
There's an elephant.
What is it, Cirque du Soleil? I mean, the fuck is going on at Albany?
The complete opposite. It was ratchet. It was so ratchet. Oh, so when I get onto the bus, 3:30 in the morning, it finally picks us up. Guess who's on the bus?
Who?
Just a shit ton of Amish people. I was like, seriously? I didn't even think they could take transportation.
That's how they do it. No, because my mom lives in Maine now, and there's a bunch of Amish moving in, and they will actually pay you to drive them into like Home Depot and stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
for
so
real.
that's how they
Yeah, so they'll take public transit. They just don't own their own vehicles.
Okay. Well, such sweet people, but they looked a little dusty and dirty, and they had their habits on.
They did? Really? Usually they look fairly clean. Well, not in Albany.
Well, I think they're all using like natural deodorant. And so the whole bus just reeked of Amish stink. And it was honestly, I was like, this is the last thing I need right now is stinky
Amish folk.
Amish folk. Love you guys to death, but they're
you guys make a mean quilt, but like I don't need to sit next to you. You know what I'm saying? You know?
I headed to the back of the bus and they were constantly using the bathroom.
Y'all make a great birdhouse, but like I don't need to sit next to you.
They were eating their homemade jam.
At 3:30 in the morning?
3:30 in the morning
Who
in the
needs
bus.
a snack at 3:30 in the morning?
Amish folk, okay? They're opening up their homemade jammed preserves, I don't even know, at 3 a.m. So it smelled like B.O.
And hot pepper jam.
It was a ride from hell. Anyway, we got to the wedding. It was a stunning wedding. It was my best friend's stepbrother, so it was
I don't
incredible.
know how you do it. This is like your MO to weddings because you rolled into mine at what? Same thing, 4:30 in the morning. You slept for like 3 hours and you came.
I'm telling you.
And then you had like the best time. You guys drove all night. I don't know how you did it. And then you did it for this. You have like amazing stamina.
Well, no, I don't, because my eye right now, it's finally caught up to me. I mean, this is bad shape right now.
Oh my God.
In bad shape. How was your weekend? You were resting, you chilled, you had Fox 5 Saturday.
Look, I am trying to get pregnant. So I spend a lot of time with my legs in the air. And it's just like really exhausting, okay? It's exhausting. I'm on all these pills. Yeah. I'm just like all out of sorts, really. I'm feeling massively bloated.
Yes.
I could be pregnant at this point. I'm having insane sex dreams. It's just really messed up. You know?
I thought you had fantasies. You have sex dreams. What kind of sex dreams are you having? Like, what the fuck? Do I even want to know? Is it with Schmano or not with Schmano?
I think my hormones are changing. Last night was with Schmano.
Okay,
but it was
good.
just really terrible. I mean, honestly,
I'm sure nobody would be shocked.
I was trying to get him to like eat my behind, basically, and then I invented a candy to help others get there. It was just really.
What I really admire about you.
Disturbing. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Even in her dream, she is out here hustling, y'all. She is making a business out of ass eating season. She's like, you know what? I'm going to market this. I'm going to patent this.
I came up with an ass eating season snack like that, and I was hustling it and peddling it. Why can't I even rest in my dreams, you guys?
Sarah is out there hustling and peddling her ass eating pill.
God. It is so true. Yeah, it was a candy that I had packaged and I was selling.
Now, is it a pill that you ingest or you actually have to like rub
No,
you crush
ran
up
it
the pill?
like down your butt trail. Like that's how I was selling it.
What's that when you do like lines off of someone's breast? It's like the happy trail?
Exactly.
The bunny trail, but you're doing it on your ass.
I was doing an ass eating snack off the ass. Yeah, it was really...
Get your mind out of the go. This poor future child of yours, like conceived off of ass eating pills.
It's going to literally come out in a G-string. I mean, it's going to literally come out in a G-string. Mom, where's the pole? It's going to be ready. Full
landing strip of pubes, just like G-string and like a nipple tassels.
And then, I got a lot on my plate with trying to get pregnant because like I am a tropical fish. I have to be kept at a certain temperature, and I'm not drinking, not smoking. Do you know how difficult it is to turn down like
alcohol?
Drugs all the time? It is like
ain't nobody offering you drugs out here. Maybe your wacko neighbors.
Yes.
You fucking neighbors. They tried to give me Coke. I was like,
okay, well, my neighbors, they're interesting. They're eclectic. But it's like people just put, I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, I'm not doing anything else. And I have to tell people this all the time. And they look at me like something's wrong. They're like, oh yeah, right. Okay. You want a double?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, excuse me. I said no. Did other people relate to this? Like when you finally stand up for yourself and you're like, no, I am going to be sober. I'm not smoking, all that stuff. People like don't believe you. They laugh in your face. I'm like, excuse me, what if I had a serious problem?
But like with drinking and alcohol?
Yes.
Like you're actually like a low-key alcoholic and this is your time to stop?
Yeah. And they like still, no one takes no for an answer. They always ask you 2 or 3 times.
Listen, when you're the life of the party, nobody wants you to stop drinking.
I mean, I am like cutting back everything. You know, I'm like living the cleanest life right now that I've ever led. And it is so hard.
So instead of having 1 glass before she goes to bed at 8 o'clock, she's having no glass.
No wine.
Wow.
Nothing.
You go from 1 to 0. Like
nothing.
Okay.
And then like I'm trying to get on these prenatal pills. I'm taking them.
Did you get any good advice?
We got to get Dr. Shelby in here.
Yes.
I put that on my Instagram and basically everybody, like the pills that I had, everyone was like, the prenatal that I have is crap. I'm like, okay, great.
Oh, what? But they're good. They're like candies. Like you could just pop those in your mouth.
They taste delicious, but apparently they affect nothing. Like there's so I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a good, but everybody has, you know, this is why I finally understand. I'm beginning to understand the mom,
Oh my
like
gosh.
the whole like mom shame.
Yes.
Literally, I put that out there. I was like, hey, I'm using these prenatals. What do you guys think? Is this a good brand? A lot of you are moms. And I got probably 35 different answers and different prenatals that people use. And I think to myself, this is why you don't put crap out that you don't want people to comment on about mom shaming because they all have an opinion.
So there wasn't like a consensus of one more than the other. It was just 15.
Not. People were like, take 14 ounces of fish oil, then turn around twice and eat this like gummy. I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? We got to get Shelby back on the show.
Yeah, we got to get some solid advice from an actual doctor.
People are still weighing in, by the way. Good thing the Amish folk can't watch videos, people are saying. People are also saying, Kathleen is saying, you may have a foreign object, AJ, in your eye. You should definitely get it checked.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to give you an update. Follow me on Instagram. It's been a long journey. I'm definitely going to go to urgent care later today, if I have a moment of time.
Just a moment.
I hate that shit. It's just like going to the bathroom and the doctor's office are just so inconvenient. I mean, I'm thankful for modern medicine, everybody.
I love
Don't
going.
hate me. What?
I do. I go to all the I love the dentist. I love it. They have amazing drugs now. Nothing's like painful. And like if you give them any back talk, you're like, this is really too much. This is painful. They're like, all right, morphine now. You're like, yes, I need the patch. Like they don't like if they do not fight you on any resistance. They're like, the oxys you want? Yes, I do.
So true.
Now
there's a comedian
and then
who
it's
does
like
that.
the best.
Yeah. No. I guess, but I guess I'm still on my parents' insurance, and my mom is just so all up in my biz, and so
Is your mom telling you not to go to the doctor? We're gonna have to.
She was saying I should go, but like, you know, I tried to get Adderall at a young age. She nixed that. I tried to do. She like doesn't want me to take the painkillers for random stuff. She's like, just take an Advil. It's fine. I'm like, okay. And she's like against all the meds. But yeah, I'm definitely. It could be dust particle from Nevada.
I think it is. I think it's a dust particle from like whatever we were doing out there because we there was a lot of dust. It kicked up a lot of dust. Well, we have a lot to talk about. So Real Housewives of Potomac star Monique Samuels, who is a friend of the show, is stopping by today because last night was the part 3 of the reunion. It was the best. It was all the husbands. So Monique Samuels' husband, Chris, like Michael Darby. And of course, the whole thing, I think she's like walking in right now. I'm so excited to ask her all about this.
Amazing.
It was by far the best season yet. Monique, we were literally just talking about you. So this is like perfect timing.
Seriously, perfect timing.
No one knows how to drive.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, you look phenomenal.
Thank you.
You're like sexy candy striper today.
I love it. Thank you.
Okay, Monique, we were just talking about this. So last night was part 3, Real Housewives of Potomac reunion.
Yes.
So that concluded the season.
Yes, it did.
Okay, did you guys get feedback that season 4 was by far the best season you guys have had yet? It was so good.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Like, seriously. I said we all...
Seriously, Michael.
We owe him 10% like tithes. Because
Seriously.
he literally carried our season. I mean, if it wasn't for all of the stuff that happened surrounding him, what would we have talked about? Like, seriously.
So good. It was crazy.
was.
So last night was basically finally like the conclusion. Like Michael came on. Michael denied the entire time like any butt grabbing. And I'm dying to ask you about all this stuff. So first of all, wait a minute, because on the show, of course, you know, as they edit, it makes it look like Ashley and Michael are really upset. Do you think they truly were upset this season of how they were portrayed?
Oh no, they were upset. Oh yeah, who wouldn't be? I mean, who just likes being the target of the season? Nobody likes it. We've all been in that seat, and it's not a good fun seat to be in, especially when it's involving one of the men. Because it is Housewives. So usually the drama surrounds the women. So I don't know. It seems like that's like the going trend for Housewives of Potomac is that the drama starts with the man and then we just talk about it. You know?
I had a lot of empathy for them. I felt really badly for them last night because I feel like it was so centered around them. And it's hard to know because obviously I know Ashley in real life and have always had great experiences with her. So it's like, wow. But then Michael came in like hardcore denying. Like he was not...
It was the one thing that I said that wasn't shown was that it's not far-fetched being the history that was being put out there. You know, like we all had heard of instances with, you know, producers and it was always a joking thing. So the one thing I didn't like about his delivery is that he didn't at least acknowledge the fact that, you know what, if I were y'all, I probably would have believed it initially too because of the past.
Right.
So that whole part was just forgotten. But the one thing that I don't agree with is judging someone with a given situation solely based off their past history.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't necessarily mean that he did it that particular time, you know? So it's like you never know. And that's pretty much my mindset the whole season was that I wanted to remain neutral because I didn't see it.
Well, you and Chris actually seemed like you really did. I mean, you know, I love Karen. Karen definitely came for them hard, you know? I mean,
and she deserved to go for them because, I mean, the past few years, she's been taking a lot of heat from the two of them as it pertained to her and Ray when they were going through their issues. And so, you know, I mean... Karen got her get back, you know, but I mean.
It was so good this season.
It was very intense.
Okay, but so tell me this, because obviously, you know, you have, and we're going to talk more about your podcast, Not for Lazy Moms.
Yes, it's National Podcast Day. Isn't this amazing?
National Podcast, which is perfect.
I know that. This is great.
Perfect. So here's the thing. I've, of course, met Cousin Hank, which is your cousin.
Yes.
And he's also your co-host on your podcast.
He's one of my co-hosts, yes.
Then he came into play last night where they essentially Michael almost kind of tried to make it that he had grabbed Hank's butt in the past.
No,
how did this?
So yeah, I thought that sounded wrong, but obviously we had a whole full out conversation, and they have to chop it up and everything like that. But no, what Michael was saying was that Hank typically will joke with him about the fact that he grabbed somebody's butt in season 1.
Okay.
But the one thing that I was pointing out was the fact that second clip that said it was like later on in the scene and it had somebody say, Mike. And then he was saying, I didn't grab your butt.
Yes.
All I said was that voice that said Mike was Hank's voice. So I was trying to understand why was Hank's voice a part of this whole thing, because like, where did that come from? And who was he talking to? And when I talked to Hank, he said, I've never joked about butt grabbing with Michael. I don't know what he's talking about. And he said, I was very intoxicated that day. He said, I literally only know that was my voice saying Mike. He said, but I don't. And so that's what I was pointing out. I was like, Hank said he doesn't remember ever having this joking back and forth thing.
The way they edited that made it sound like, I don't know if, it made it sound more like Michael had grabbed Hank's butt or something or whatever.
It did
so I was
come
like,
off very confusing. I was like, no, he didn't grab Hank's butt. It wasn't even about Hank. It was just that in that second clip they played, we don't know who was having conversation. All I know is I know my cousin's voice. And that Mike, that was Hank. That was it. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, like, how did you feel in wrapping up this season? Like, season 4. I know you guys are filming season 5 now, but it was pretty heated. A lot with Candace and Ashley. Then you guys went away. And then you have the whole Katie, element of it too, who was not invited to any of the reunions.
Yeah.
So I want to know your thoughts on that. And she kind of put out there too that she was looking for someone to interview her, basically about, her side of the story, or she was going to share her side of the story. So tell me all your thoughts on this, and then I'll ask you more about, where Katie's at.
Okay, so I felt fine leaving the season. I mean, I felt like I was in a good space. I feel like I had a pretty easy season. I was pregnant. I was enjoying my life. I was laughing at everything. It was the most comical reunion I've ever sat through. I mean, it was pure comedy. Not even just me laughing, but all of us. Like, we had so much fun given the circumstance. We actually had a good time filming this reunion. Like, I mean, we were cutting up, laughing, even production in the background. I'm looking over at them. They're cracking up. It was so many funny moments, but then we had our heated moments as well.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that it's done with, because it was very uncomfortable talking about this whole, fourth wall thing. Normally we're filming a reality show. We don't talk about fourth wall stuff. So that just made it a little weird. And then it's like, I just was over the whole Michael talk. Like, we've talked about him enough. Let's move on. That's what I felt like. I just wanted to be done and just like move on and try to get on the same space. But I was very surprised at the sidebar conversations that
he was having
picked up between him and Ashley and even the other ladies, because when we left reunion, it seemed as if everybody was good. So when you go back and you hear these side conversations that were happening on the other couch, I was like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. Oh, okay, so this isn't really done.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa.
I know.
It brings a lot of question of people and their them being genuine about moving forward. To me, it brings a lot of that back into question, because it's like, what do you really feel? Are you moving on just because, or are you really like uncomfortable, or like what's the real tea?
Right. What's the real story?
Yes.
I know you're just fixing your phone. No worries. Sorry about that. No, don't worry at all. So tell us this, and then I'll ask you kind of a little bit more. And by the way, we're streaming live on YouTube, so if you guys have any specific questions for Monique, you can always read those or leave those, and then I'll read them. So you also, all right, so this season, you guys just wrapped the Real Housewives of Potomac, third reunion. But tell me this, so Katie Rost played a big kind of part in this show the first half. Then obviously I think we all saw the demise on social media. There were some really suspect pictures that were posted, and then it just seems like it's kind of derailed from there. So she was not invited to the reunion. Is that right?
Yeah. The higher ups did not want her there. They didn't feel as though it was good for them to have her there for whatever reason. We all I know me and a couple other cast members, we were like wanting her to be there. It was like we were making phone calls like, well, can she come? Like, what's the big deal?
Okay,
why can't
so
she
you
be
did.
there? Yeah. And we were told that it was out of our hands. It was out of their hands, and it came from somewhere up high.
Andy's like, no.
Yeah, I don't even think that it was Andy. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I just think I don't know all of the dealings and inner workings of how when they're dealing with other cast members and how that goes down, especially when they're not full time. So I just thought since she had such a big role this season that she should be there to speak her mind. But I don't know. I honestly don't know what the real reasons are. I just know that we definitely reached out and we definitely wanted her there. And for whatever reason, they said no.
They didn't. Well, I mean, you're right. And you can speculate like all you want, but the reality is we don't know the actual reason. And I would have been curious to hear her side, because she definitely, and a big key moment when you guys all went on vacation and then she sort of abruptly left early.
Yeah.
And that was kind of almost like the last we really saw of her.
Right. And she actually found out that she was pregnant when she got back.
Yes.
And then a few months later, she suffered a miscarriage.
Right.
So, Katie was going through so much. I remember saying to myself when we were filming, I was like, I don't know if this is good for her to be around all of this negativity and drama. I mean, even when we were at her farm, it was like once we started arguing, she was just looking at us like, y'all need to leave. She was ready for us to go.
Really? Yeah.
Seriously.
It was like too much.
Yeah, it was too much. So I think her intentions for coming back around was so that she can take her mind off of things and have a good time.
Right.
And then it turned into a whole bunch of mess. I mean, they were trying to start mess between me and her with this whole homicide comment that went out of the ballpark. And it was like me and her talked about it, and she was just like, girl, I don't want to be arguing with the pregnant woman. And she was like, she was like, look, I wrap my hair because I don't have air conditioning. And I was just like, it wasn't even about how you look. When I said that, I was talking about you being a free spirit. I expected her to be stuck up. honestly.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to come around and have her nose up in the air, and she was so cool and so down to earth. We actually met up a few months ago in LA, hung out, went to dinner. I love
That's
Katie.
good. So you have seen her since. Does it seem
yeah.
like she's doing well? Because
she's doing much better.
The hard part for all of us viewers and fans is like they kind of leave you hanging. Like, is she okay? You know, nobody knows.
Right?
Like,
yeah, you have to follow her on
hear.
social media. But yeah, she's engaged again to a new guy. He's amazing. I met him when I was out there. He's very much in love with her. He caters to her. She's like literally living her best life right now.
Well, she
so I'm happy
deserves
for
it
her.
because as a fan of the show, you know, I followed all of her. You know, she's just really gone through it with the ex, and I know they have 3 children, and you know, she does not have custody of those kids, and it just seemed so stressful. So I really do hope she finds happiness because that's really difficult.
Right. And even though we're filming a TV show, that type of stuff, I'm like, that's like real life. I'm not about to even try to pick up on something that sensitive. So I was just like, look, I wasn't here for that. I was here for her being herself and speaking her mind, and she did that very well. I enjoyed her. She's very much, you know, a sweet person. So
so it seems like you're talking to everybody in the cast, correct? I mean, like, and I've read mixed stories. Like, are you and Candace back on? Are you off? Like, I read 2 different things. So
yeah, well, you know, we did make up, and at the reunion, we had a moment. I do love Candace, but I just think that we do not hear each other when we're speaking, and it just. To me, I like when a relationship is 50-50. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm putting so much into a friendship and then I'm sitting back like, hey, what about me?
Yeah,
you know, what about what you're doing for me? Like, not that we should be doing anything for each other, but it should be reciprocated, you know? So when I get to a point where I feel like, okay, I feel a little bit taken advantage of, then I gotta, you know, do what I do for my own sanity. And it's not like I dislike her. I just feel like I see her differently as a person, different from who I thought I met when I first met her. Okay. So yeah, it's just, I'm just kind of changing the way I flow with her. And it's nothing about, you know, hating or not getting along. It's just that I have to do what's best for me and my feelings. I'm at a place in life. I have 3 whole kids at home.
Oh my God. I know. Like, your little guy is so cute.
Thank you.
Oh my God. He's adorable. He was born, last November? Is he almost a year?
Yeah, he is 10 months.
Already. Wow. He is so cute. How are you getting on with 3 kids?
Oh my God. When I tell you, like literally, so I was doing some podcasting interviews yesterday on a Sunday, which my kids were very upset about. They do not like me leaving on the weekends. You know, it's been nonstop, and when I don't have any downtime. Right. So it's like I'm out, I'm running around. I've been up since 4:00 this morning. I did Good Morning Washington this morning, and then it's like from there I'm making stops. I'm running in the door here.
Oh my
as soon
God.
as I leave here, I have a meeting at home. So I have a babysitter that's still with the kids, so I can do my meeting, and then it's like, okay, now I get some time, but it's not downtime. It's time with the kids. Right. So, and they want me to be high energy mommy. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Me and my husband are outnumbered by our kids. Yeah. So it's. I'm not even going to sugarcoat this and say that, oh, it's a walk in the park. Yeah, right. It's a lot of work. It is. I enjoy watching my kids grow. I love the relationship that they have with each other. Yeah. They are obsessed over baby Chase. He is like. Chase. He's trying to walk. He's standing up. He's pulling up. He's all over the place. It's like I'll hold him and it's like, all right, I'm getting down. I'm like, dude, you can't walk. If I put you down, what are you doing? So I'll put him on the floor and he'll just start crawling. I'm like, where are you going? He smiles and just keeps going. He is so funny. He's so happy. So it's those moments where it's like I try not to even focus on how tired I am. Yes. I just focus on the fact that I love being able to witness my kids growing, and I see everything, all the milestones, you know? So I love it.
So tell us what's going on with the podcast, because your podcast is well over a year old.
Yeah,
so Not for Lazy Moms is like, I mean, doing it. You're
doing okay.
Exploding.
Well.
Yes. And I feel like the biggest thing with podcasting is continuing. Like, people don't realize how much work it is. And then, like, to continue and keep growing it, that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And then sometimes it seems almost like it shouldn't be a hard thing to come up with topics pertaining to parenting and relationships. But when you want to make it interesting and you're putting a lot as you're planning out each episode, you know, it is a lot. And I want to make sure that when people are watching, I do it in seasons. So it's like when you're listening to this season, I want to make sure that you walk away from something, and then the next season you're going to have a whole package that's even better. But I am thinking about starting to do it year round to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a 30-minute, quick episode. We were talking about doing what we call not for lazy mom quickies.
Okay. I
in
like
the middle
that.
of the day, so Allie and I are going to do that, me and her. This way we don't have to worry about Chris and his schedule.
Yep.
So we're trying to continue so that people can keep getting something, even if it's not a full out episode. So, but it's going well. I'm very happy. I love the podcasting world. Put a mic in front of me, I will talk all day.
I love
it's like perfect.
And you got your next live show coming up, which is October 12th. So tell us about, I want to make sure that we tell people where they can get tickets, where it is. Tell us about that.
Oh my God. So you were the amazing host for our first live podcast. Sarah
That
had
was so much
everybody
fun.
cracking up. I literally just watched the video. Because remember, it was supposed to have been the finale.
Yes, I know.
They completely clipped it, and they said it was more so we just ran out of episodes. We only had 18, and there just wasn't enough time to show the full story of me being this boss mom, still working and planning this podcast 3 weeks before I was due.
I know, that was amazing.
Yeah, but it was such a good time, and I just finally sat down and watched it, and I had no idea all the jokes you were telling. I was cracking up. It was such a fun night, and we're trying to do that again. Keep that same energy going.
Yes.
It was literally like a big party. I mean, people were networking. People were literally making friends. And I couldn't believe the turnout that we had. We had couples. There were so many men in the audience.
Yeah,
I
you
was
did. You
beyond happy.
Well, and of course, you got, Chris being a former NFL player. So you had
Yes.
Adrian Peterson there, and
a lot of
Ashley Peterson.
Redskins.
A lot of major Redskins player. And of course, our friend Fred Smoot, who's been on.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
Fred is just like his own show, So that was, you guys had like a really great audience.
It was nice. And we even had the president of NBC Sports Washington there. Him and his wife were there. It was such an amazing turnout. I was so happy. We had people who had not had kids, who were not married, who came out and they were just like, oh my God, you're preparing me for my future. And it was just a nice time. So we're trying to do that again. We're doing it at brunch this time. We figured we try to switch up the time. This way we can catch some of the people who weren't able to come in the middle of the week.
I think brunch shows are genius, by the way, because people, at night, like people have so many commitments now. And I think if you do have kids, it's hard to get a sitter. So I think that the brunch show is genius.
Awesome. So we'll see how it turns out. It's going to be October 12th. Doors open at 11 o'clock. We do have a private VIP meet and greet from 11 to 12. The show will start at 12:30. We'll have all kind of prizes and giveaways. We're going to have a good conversation. I have Karen and Ray Huger coming to speak, along with my pastor and first lady of the Temple of Healing Waters. And I love the fact that Ray's going to be there.
Oh, Ray is like...
I am ready to hear what he has to say about marriage, because him and Karen have been married for 23 years. And we're talking about when the honeymoon phase is over. When you look at that man and you're like, he gets on my nerves. I can't stand him today. Oh, that happens anytime. I mean, it's an ongoing thing. I swear. It's like marriage is like in seasons. You have your seasons when you're just so busy. Everything's fine in your marriage, but you're just busy.
Okay.
Then you're not connecting. Then you are like in your honeymoon phase for a couple months and it's bliss. And you're like, wait, when is something bad going to happen? And then all of a sudden, bam, he gets on my nerves. It's like, I don't like you today. But it's so real. And I think that people always focus on the fairy tale of what they think marriage is.
Well, I'm just coming off the marriage, so I know what it's like. Like right now, I'm like in that high of like everything is so great.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. When is this going
happen.
to shift? I was hoping like in like 3 more years, but
yeah, hopefully, listen, hopefully your honeymoon phase will be a long time. But the thing is that I love about it is that when you do go through those rough moments and those misunderstandings and those moments of growth, you can reflect back onto that phase and you'll say, you know what, we can get back there. And it is possible. We just need to get on the same page. So I look at marriage in terms of growth. It's like working out. When you work out for the first time, your muscle has to tear itself down and then rebuild itself to get stronger and bigger. So it's the same thing in relationships. Sometimes you get to that moment where you feel like, oh my God, everything is just terrible. We're tearing each other down, but really you're building each other up because you're trying to get each other out of your comfort zones.
Yes, and
push
on
each
to
other.
the next chapter.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And, just kind of changing it up a little bit. We are really excited about BravoCon, the first ever BravoCon that is happening in New York City. Are you a part of that, by the way?
I was not invited.
What?
Yeah. I was not invited. Just like Katie wasn't invited to our reunion. I was not invited to BravoCon.
So it's so interesting to me. How do you take it like as a businesswoman? Do you get offended? I mean, obviously Bravo's a business. Andy Cohen's your boss. And it must be somewhat political too, you know? I mean, and you guys must always be nervous were you nervous about being asked back this season where you were? Okay.
You know, I guess for me, the way I look at it is if I'm ever invited along for anything, I'm honored. Thank you for the opportunity. But honestly, I don't have time for BravoCon anyway. To be real,
going to that.
I really don't. And I mean, it's hard to get out of town with 3 kids with the different age group and the dynamic. I don't have anybody that I have that can like spend the night with my kids, and you know, with Chase, it's a little different. He's a baby, so I'm already very territorial when it comes to my kids. It's very hard to get out of town. Sometimes I take them with me. Like when I do Watch What Happens Live, we'll pack up and make it a family trip at times because it's hard to kind of leave, and then I don't want to leave my husband with all 3 of them. You know, that's a lot of pressure. So even though he handles it, but no, I mean, we all get different opportunities, and you know, the way I look at it is keep grinding on the show, and the fans will speak for you. They'll make it known who they want to see, and then Bravo has no choice but to respond. So I'm worried about me. I don't try to worry about what everybody else is doing. Good. I'm just like, let me just stay in my little lane, do what I got to do, and keep it moving.
Can you give us any sneak preview of what you think the storyline for season 5 is going to be? Because I mean, do you think they're going to really leave Michael alone, or do you think poor Michael Darby will?
At this point, I can tell you that he will not be the storyline. We're sick of talking about it. I know. And Michael is in such a different place right now. Like him and Ashley are so happy when they're holding that cute little baby Dean. Oh my God. He is amazing. Yeah. And I was blown away when I saw Michael for the first time since reunion, because I met up with her and with myself and Ashley. We both had our babies and we were talking, and I was telling her, I was like, oh my God, like my kids age me. They make me tired. I said, so what is Michael doing? Like, how is he handling this, having a newborn? She said it's actually the exact opposite. She said this baby is making him younger. He's more vibrant. He's like getting up and he's excited, and it gave him more spunk and everything. And he's already an active person. Yeah. So when I saw him for the first time holding baby Dean, he had this look on his face. He was just in heaven. Like he was just smiling. He looked so happy. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing, because I would be in tears if I had grown kids and then I have a newborn. I'm starting completely over.
I know. Poor Michael.
Oh,
I know.
My God.
I know, right?
But he loves it. I'm so happy for them. I am.
So no, I'm with you. I mean, like, oh my God. So what do you think? Can you give us any hints that you think what to expect? I love that you guys, I feel like this season really solidified you guys as like Housewife Dynasty.
Thank you.
I
definitely feel like we're finally finding our place within our circle.
Yeah.
And we're learning to kind of respect each other. And, you know, we can throw the light shade and the fun shade and all of that. But it's like, all right, let's not hold grudges. Let's just keep it moving.
Yeah.
And this way we're not dwelling on the same thing for the whole darn season, you know? So this year, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking about this, about season 5, but I will since I'm here. But I think that it's going to be a very shocking season when you start to look at the dynamics of the women.
Ooh,
shift and change and go back and forth. Seeing people who you never expected to ever be on the same page, you're going to be like, wait, when did that happen? How did that happen? You know? So I think that it's going to be, it's interesting. It has me very skeptical.
Ooh, all right,
but
good.
I think that it's definitely going to be what the viewers want and need.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm very curious. Okay. Well, we have a great, so, you know, on Mondays on the show, we do Pineapple Mail. We have a really good one involving a future mother-in-law. And since obviously, you know, it was great to see you and Chris's mom have this wonderful moment, you know, when she apologized to you, which was awesome. Are things still good?
Yeah.
Really?
They're good. You know, I haven't talked to her in a while, though. I did call her a few weeks ago, and then she called me back, and we haven't connected yet. But as far as there being tension or weirdness or anything like that, no, we're actually really good right now.
Oh my God, I love that. I thought that was a great moment for her to take the mic, you know, early on in the season. And basically,
it was scary because I was like, what in the world is she going to say now?
And I thought the best kind of ongoing story plot was, it is really true. When you put a wig on your husband, he definitely looks like your mother-in-law.
Yes.
They are freaking twins.
They are. Like,
it's crazy.
And Chris has another brother who looks just like them. All 3 of them. They're twins. Triplets.
Oh my God.
They're triplets.
All right. Well, we want to ask you your advice. I do want to thank a couple of our sponsors first. So this Friday, just a reminder that you can come see AJ and me. We are podcasting live at Park Potomac. You can go to parkpotomac.com. I do think the event is actually sold out. It was totally free, but they have over 300 people that have RSVP'd. I know. It's crazy.
Awesome.
You can eat, drink, shop at Park Potomac, and of course, live and work there as well. Park Potomac is located right at the spur of 270 in North Bethesda. And you can come check out Founding Farmers for brunch. They have Sugos, which is really amazing. We're actually going to be picking the winner today. We're giving away a Sugos brunch for 2. If you want to find out more info on this Friday's event, it is eventbrite.com, search Park Potomac, or you can go to parkpotomac.com. Also, it's the final day for Inova Health. We've loved partnering with them, and this month is Addiction Awareness Month. The Act on Addiction campaign we've been thrilled to be a part of, which will bring together members of the community. They're doing an event on October 5th. Act on Addiction campaign is all about raising awareness for those who are suffering and dealing with addiction, as well as destigmatizing it, educating those who suffer from addiction and their loved ones. The campaign is particularly close, of course, as you guys know, to my heart. My brother Jess celebrated 8 years of sobriety this past Saturday, which is crazy. You can be a part of their Bridging the Gap for Young Adults event on October 5th. If you want to register for that event, which is free, go to actonaddictionnow.org. So we've been so thrilled to partner with them the entire month of September, but this event carries on into October. So October 5th, and you can go to their website, actonaddictionnow.org. Also, AJ, you tell us about Embrace Pet Insurance. I want to hear all about it.
Oh, Embrace. Sarah hates animals, so I take care of this one.
It's actually crazy. I had to do a segment on Saturday with Fox 5 about pet adoption, and I was just like,
that's
they were
hilarious.
like, which one do you want to adopt? I was like,
none.
I never want to see an animal ever suffer, but I'm just like, oh my God, animals are so much work. Like,
yeah, they are.
I do not. Do you have any pets?
I just bought a parrot.
You did?
I have
a parrot?
I have an African gray parrot, and it is the best pet I've ever had in my life. Wow. He is like a dog with wings, but he's easier to clean up after.
And he can talk to you.
Yeah, and he can talk. And he's already doing the cat call whistle. That's how he acknowledges me when I walk in the room, and it just boosts my ego every morning.
That's so cute.
As soon as I
funny.
go home. And I actually have videos I posted on Instagram where he's literally cat calling me in the background. Yeah, that's my bird.
Your kids ask you for a dog or cat yet?
No, they're happy with the bird.
Really?
We went to the Bahamas, and we went to the little bird sanctuary, and they were like, "Mommy, can we get one of these?" And I was like, "You know what? Let me ask Dad." And he said yes, and I got the most expensive bird I can find. And I made sure that it wasn't one of those yappy little birds. I was like, "No, we need the Bentley of the birds."
We're gonna get a parrot. It's gonna be
an African gray parrot. We named him T'Challa.
T'Challa.
Like Black Panther,
Yeah,
T'Challa. Yes. So yeah, we love T'Challa. He's amazing. He's really super cool.
Okay, well that seems like a good pet. I'm just like, a dog is a lot. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it is.
I do not want to get up at 5:30. Anyway, tell me about Embrace. You know what? People need pet insurance who love animals.
People need pet insurance, the ones who do love animals. We do our best to protect our pets from unexpected accidents and illnesses, but sometimes they're just unavoidable. You guys know vet bills are so expensive. And that's why you should go with Embrace and get a free quote today. Embrace Pet Insurance offers comprehensive health insurance for dogs and cats, puppies and kittens as well. So when the unexpected happens, you're prepared. There are no networks. You can visit any vet and get reimbursed for up to 90% of your bill. Iggy's dog ate like a bunch of chocolate at Christmas time. He had to induce vomiting. The bill was like $1,000, super unexpected. But if you have Embrace Pet Insurance, you do not need to worry about that. For everyday expenses like routine vet care, grooming, and training, there's wellness rewards and Embrace's optional preventative care plan. Ensuring your pet can cost less per day than your morning coffee, and getting your personalized free quote takes just seconds. So go to embracepetinsurance.com/heyfrase and answer a few quick questions to see your price. It takes 1 minute, I swear. You can adjust your pet's quote to fit your budget without sacrificing the coverage they'll need, and every policy comes with a 30-day money-back guaranteed. So 1 in 3 policyholders submit claims in the first year, and they're grateful they have Embrace. So don't wait. You can get your free quote at embracepetinsurance.com/heyfrase, HEYFRASE. embracepetinsurance.com/heyfrase. Embrace is underwritten by American Modern Insurance Group, and terms and conditions apply. So head on over to embracepetInsurance.com/coverage to get your free quote today.
Okay, perfect. And then, of course, we have to thank True Orthodontics. TrueOrthodontics.us. We're doing an event with them October 11th. So the day before Monique's brunch show, which we'll be at.
Oh, yeah. Sounds fun.
If you want to find out more info for that, you can also go to eventbrite.com. It's True Orthodontics. You can also go to heyfrase.com. It's right there. True Orthodontics services Burke and Fairfax. If you are in the market for Invisalign and braces, you get $1,000 off, which is basically like 50% off when you call them, book an appointment, and use code HeyFrase. So that's huge. You can get Invisalign for yourself, for your kids, if you've been thinking about braces for your children, literally half off. So $1,000 off. Take advantage of that today. Go to trueorthodontics.us. So we love all our sponsors. Okay, before we get to this email that I really want you to weigh in on, we do have two pop culture stories. Did you see this story about Adam Levine doing a corn honk over the weekend? So obviously frontman for Maroon 5. How do you feel about white people ever doing cornrows? Should they ever do it or no?
I didn't even know that what he did. What?
We'll bring
a
up
corn
the
hop.
picture.
Yeah, pull the picture for you.
We'll bring up the picture. So Adam Levine has been trending on and off all weekend long after doing what he's referred to as a corn hawk, which essentially he did cornrows into almost a rat tail. And then the sides were shaved. So a lot of people thought he was just thirsty and put this picture up because he needed attention.
Okay.
Other people find it cultural appropriation.
Well, I'm fine with it, but don't rename what we call cornrows, corn hawk. Like, don't do that.
Okay, so there was the problem with it.
Cornrows. That's what they are. They're cornrows. You can't change the name.
Yeah, he was getting trolled all
Corn
weekend.
hawks. That's what he referred to it as.
No, babe. No.
So you're okay with it as long as you
I'm
keep
totally
keep
fine
the
with
name.
it. Yeah, just call it a cornrow. Just call it cornrows.
There he is. A lot of people he was training with this picture. So he's like basically trying to do push-ups and he has chains around his neck and then he has the cornrows.
Right.
Yes.
But I don't think that hairstyles are cultural appropriated because at the end of the day, I have a weave. My hair right here is Brazilian. So am I being a Brazilian today? Like, seriously. Like,
well, that's what we always kind of think too.
Right.
Is
Some
like,
people have natural wigs. Some people have the ones where the hair is wavy, Cambodian and all of that. Like, come on now. Like, it's okay. Like, we can share hair. We can share hairstyles. Like, that's okay.
That's how I felt. So I was really surprised that they were just like, leave the hairstyle to our people. And I guess...
See, now, where they say Adam Levine's new cornrow mohawk, that's fine.
That's fine.
Call
it's
it what
just the
it
corn
is.
hawk is
Okay.
not.
Don't be trying to change the name of what we've been doing, honey. A corn hawk.
The other pop culture story we're obsessed with too. Have you been following Tekashi 6ix9ine and his whole
Oh, my
trial?
God.
Of course, he in the past week has basically said that Cardi B is an ongoing alleged gang member. He's outed other people. He is basically
snitching on everybody. And if he's not snitching, he's making it up, which is even worse. So who knows?
What do you think? The Post had the story this morning that he apparently continues to reject witness protection program. Do you think that,
He wants to die? Like he
wants to die.
He must want to just go to heaven, or the opposite. Who knows? But he's crazy
for not doing the witness protection. I know. They know where he lives.
Why would you do all of this talking and then say that you don't want witness protection? Like, what is this? Some type of publicity stunt? Maybe he upped his insurance policy and he's giving somebody a bunch of money.
Something has to be going on.
They're saying if he does witness protection, he should just become an Amish man or a clown.
Yeah. This story blows my mind because it's just so interesting to me. It seems as though, I guess obviously when Tekashi was arrested and he had major gun charges and all of these things, he was looking at, I think, something like 60 or 70 years in jail. So maybe with those odds being so young, you felt like, hey, my only option is to talk.
There definitely is a difference between a real gangster and a booth gangster. So at the end of the day, don't be a booth gangster. Don't be this rapper acting like you so hard and tat up everything and act like you and then when the real life gangster life stuff comes to you, then you're afraid. Like, just be who you are.
Well, as of now, his attorney says that they will not comment. He could be sentenced in the next couple of weeks, and they're saying he could even be out in a year and a half.
Wow. If I was him, I would just want to be in at this point.
Wow. And I don't know.
What's
he loves
worse?
media attention, though, so I'm not sure if he'll take it or not. If I were him, obviously, I would be doing the witness protection.
Right. I'm like, you're afraid of doing 60, 70 years in jail, but you'll snitch on everybody and have everybody hunting you for the rest of your life. So which one is worse? Like, really? And the things that he's telling on, does it have anything directly to do with him? Like he's just putting everybody else's business out there.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, he's testified, I guess, against 2 other gang members of the gang that he was a part of. And I do believe they are up for murders or whatever. So he is essentially saying, like, yes, they were gang members. Yes,
he is a real gangster then. He's not a booth gangster. Or at least he hangs with them. Oh, God.
All right, Monique, we need all your advice because I feel like you are the pro when it comes to mother-in-laws and how to deal with them. You're like,
we got a really good email.
Let's go.
This woman only wants to be referred to as Emily for our pineapple mail today. She says, hey, FRASE family, I'm in the greatest, healthiest, and most peaceful relationship of my life. My boyfriend and I have yet to get into a serious argument, and we have been together for 2 years. However, there is one thing in our relationship that has caused me to have anxiety attacks and cry. His mother. Every time I've spent the day with her, 50% of the conversations are about how perfect she is. She tells us about the non-GMO organic food she eats, how fit she is, and how young she looks. She talks about herself like she is a god. She always is fishing for compliments. And the other 50% of the conversation are her bashing other people who don't fit the same diet regimen that she does. She judges overweight people, believes people who have depression do it to themselves, and will find a way to find flaws in everyone she meets. It's emotionally and mentally exhausting. I don't even want my parents to ever meet her. She has made me cry and caused anxiety attacks at least 4 times since I met her. She texted me about not having the same diet as her or will pick at my appearance and mention how I should follow her daily routines. The last incident was her harassing me for not liking her Facebook posts. This has been the second instance where she has gotten upset at me for not seeing her social posts and, quote, liking them. I should also note her social media presence is very much her just bragging about herself. The anxiety has gotten so bad that I had to block her from messaging me. My boyfriend is mad at his mother for treating me like this and is very supportive of me in establishing boundaries and blocking her. Any advice on how to help with this situation is greatly appreciated. This is a relationship that is heading towards marriage, but how can I deal with this narcissistic mother-in-law? Do I just take the abuse, or do we get married and then we kind of end up going our separate ways? Do I continue to block her from my life? Emily, which is not the real name. And she actually sent us, Monique, these are the text messages from the mom. So best wishes for a wonderful weekend. This is from the mother-in-law or future mother-in-law. I just noticed that you're active on Facebook, but don't like any of my posts. So I'm going to unfriend you since you may not be seeing my posts, and it's the reason. Send me a friend request to hopefully fix. Narcissistic mother-in-law. What do you do?
Did this come from one of my other sister-in-laws? And y'all acting like somebody. Y'all talking about my mother-in-law
today.
Listen, first of all, she need to find a man. If she ain't got one, he ain't treating her right. The mother-in-law.
You think the mother-in-law needs a boyfriend?
She is searching for attention. That's all this is a cry for attention. She's compliment baiting. She's basically building herself up. And that, to me, is screaming signs of insecurity. And she's looking for security. She's looking for somebody else to just pat her on the back and give her that reassurance that she doesn't really have for herself. Because it's like, if you're a boss chick and you're confident, you don't have to run around telling everybody, I'm a boss chick, I'm confident. You just be. So the fact that she is literally trying to bait everyone into complimenting her and recognizing all of the great that she does, it's because she probably doesn't feel adequate. So to me, I don't feed into that type of behavior. That's literally like, a kid having a temper tantrum. Right. And what do you do when the child has a temper tantrum? You look at them and say, when you're done, I'll be over here. And that's it. She can't let her future mother-in-law's issues and how she is interrupt and mess up her own personal space and well-being, because really what she's doing is not necessarily a direct attack at the daughter-in-law to be.
Right, it's her own issues.
She's just screaming out her own issues. So it's like, don't let it get to you. And don't let her issues interfere with the marriage that they will one day have, because that's when the arguments start happening, because, the son is going to be in the middle. He doesn't want to be in the middle.
He doesn't want to upset his mom.
Right. So it's like,
tough.
It's a fine line. You definitely don't want to go into this with the mindset that, once we get married, I won't have to deal with her anymore, because that's not the answer. You're going to have to deal with her. That's his mom. And you should love and respect her for the fact that she gave you this man. Basically, she brought him in the world, and you have all of the benefits of what she did to raise him to be the man that you love. So you want to find a way to exist. The thing she's talking about, I haven't experienced that. I experienced that plus insults and all of those other things, and just being messy and all of those. I've experienced all of that as well. And what I do is I refuse to entertain conversation that is going in that direction. Like I will immediately say, I'll be right back. And I'll get up and exit from the room. And it got to a point where I didn't even want to be in the same space as her without what I call a witness, which is someone that can also hear the conversation to make sure that nothing's being told that's not true as, you're rehashing the conversation. So my advice to her would just be, keep doing what you're doing, but just don't entertain the conversation. I wouldn't even give it attention, because the more you give it attention, the more she's going to keep quote unquote acting out.
So you wouldn't say, like, I'm always like about creating I don't think it has to be aggressive, but just a boundary. Like with this woman, it's like if she starts in on your appearance, it's like, oh, you can say, I really appreciate that, but I'm really happy with my appearance. Like, I feel like you have to speak up for yourself, and it doesn't have to be an aggressive way.
No.
I think she does need to create, because it sounds like the anxiety is coming from because she doesn't speak up to this woman at all.
Oh,
and I think,
okay. See, and I'm opposite. I'm like,
you'll
if she,
create a boundary with your mother-in-law.
If she was to compliment, or she compliments me now, but in the past, if she did say anything about my appearance that was negative, I'd be like, oh, well, good for you. You don't have to worry about wearing this outfit. Good for you. You don't have to worry about wearing these shoes. This is what I choose, and I'm happy with it. And she can just
I think she needs
bring it back to herself and just say, well, I like it, but thank you for your opinion, and keep it moving, because her mother-in-law is feeding off of the fact that it's bothering her.
Right.
If
I
she
agree.
shows her a strong front and says, like, fine, I didn't ask for your opinion, but thank you for giving it to me.
You love to work out and take good care of your body. You
Good
look
for you.
great. Good for you.
Good for you. It's my body. I can do what I want with it.
I also think it's so interesting when we go to couples therapy. I love talking about couples therapy, but our couples therapist always says too, like with family members, because you're a part of a family and you are taking on different family members. She always says you should try to find a tradition with that person, even if they're difficult, that just the two of you can share. Because she said sometimes like it's as little as like this woman obviously loves diet and exercise, right? So maybe it's like going to exercise with one of her classes and just like trying it, like trying from that person's perspective.
Right.
So I always think that's worth giving it a go. Like, all right, this woman loves to work out. It's obviously about her. It's about her life. But maybe you should go and try and do or find a ritual that the two of you can do together and enjoy. It may or may not work.
Right.
But at least you're trying.
Because
you're like you said, you got to deal with her forever.
Yeah. And the only issue with that is that this is the part that is the hard thing to swallow. Her talking about diets and GMOs and her eating and her whatever, that's not really what the issue is. That's not really what the topic is. She's going to find something else. She could literally start eating GMO food. She could empty out her whole pantry and kitchen and do GMO-free products. She could go work out every single day. She's going to find something else.
Yeah,
so she has to just keep in mind that it's not her job to please her mother-in-law. It's her job to please her soon-to-be husband. That's his mom. Let him deal with that.
Right.
So if anything, I would appreciate him standing up for his girlfriend and just saying, Mom, that's out of line. Like, if she chooses to wear this, that, and the other, that's on her. And I would appreciate if you would stop commenting negatively towards my girlfriend. That is what's missing. And that's going to be what changes his mom, because she's only doing what she's getting away with and what she's allowed to get away with.
Yeah.
But her son, basically, in so many words, checking her and saying, Mom, don't disrespect her, because this is the woman I chose. He has to set the boundary. It's not so much her, it's him. Because it's
Emily.
his mom.
Get your man on board.
Emily, you need to have a talk with your man. And honestly, the pressure is on him. The only pressure that is on her is maintaining a peaceful relationship with the mother-in-law outside of those boundaries.
I like
once
that
he
too.
establishes them, then she can still be her pleasant self within them. And if she starts coming crazy again, then it's like, talk to your man. Hey, she's doing it again. You have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So that's what I did with Chris. Like every time anything was said or done, I would literally go to him and I say, hey, you need to talk to your mom because she's getting out of hand.
And he would.
And then he would handle it. Yeah. He would handle it. And that's what allowed our relationship to move forward, because he also loved the fact that I was putting it on him as the man. And I wasn't trying to overstep him into his family zone,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it's a tricky thing, but when it comes to families,
a good place to start.
Yeah, it's a good starting place. And when it comes to families, especially before you've walked down the aisle, we always kept it separate. Like, you deal with your family, I deal with mine. If you feel like somebody on my family is acting out of character or out of pocket, I'm going to handle that. And then once we got married, now my husband is the head. And he is the one that has to cover me. So all the pressure is off of the wife. It's on him. Because
you're
once
good.
he
All
walks
right.
down that
I
aisle,
would jump right in and like do it myself. I'd be like, okay.
No, once he walks down, that's the beautiful thing about marriage is that the pressure is off of you. You have somebody he vowed that he is going to protect you and cover you. So you know what the vow says. It says you're supposed to love your wife the way God loved the church.
That.
Don't get me up in here preaching. But it does say that. And it also says that you're supposed to love your wife the way that, God loved the church. And what does God do? He will give everything. So that's what the man's supposed to do. So he's supposed to make sure that his wife is okay.
Well, Emily, there's all the advice.
That was the best
Do
advice
you want to
ever.
weigh in, Age?
Well, I have issues because my mom and my boyfriend are fighting right now. So
what are your...
Well,
your mom and your boyfriend.
Right. And so, but I love your advice about that because, I don't even know how to handle this.
Are you going to jump in and talk to Carol?
So yeah, I think what I need to do for listening to you is actually just have a conversation with my mom. But she's like, well, I should be happy with your choice and I'm not happy with him. I'm like, you're not dating him. Why do you have to be happy about it?
It's not even being happy. She just needs to respect it.
Right.
Yeah.
And she, it's always a religion thing. He's not religious as my family. And she's always thought that was a problem. I'm like, look, I can't date a priest. They don't date women. She wants me to find Jesus Christ. I'm like, he don't exist.
Oh my gosh. So. Well, she has to have confidence in the fact that she raised you to be a smart, confident woman. And whatever choice you make she is the one that raised you. So a lot of your habits and tendencies come directly from her.
I love that. And we've been dating for almost 3 years now. And so So I think but I love how you said, until you're married, deal with your own family.
Yeah.
So that's what, and she calls him off the hook. She's like, he doesn't answer her and it's a whole thing.
Oh, I can't wait till you guys are married and then Iggy's going to call her. That'll go over real well with Carol.
Listen, there's times where my husband has to step in even with my family. And he's like, listen, leave my wife alone. You're not going to stress my wife.
Wow, how did they take that?
Y'all gave her away when we got married. Y'all gave her away. So
did they
she's
take
mine.
her well?
They had to respect it. They had to respect it. So yeah,
wow.
It's no choice. And I love that. I love that about marriage. I'm like, I don't have to fight any battles. My husband got my back.
You gotta let Schman know that. Okay.
He got my back and my front.
You're easy. Schman's family, he talks to them like once every 2 months. Easy.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Monique, thank you so much for being here. The podcast is called Not for Lazy Moms. There are still some tickets available for October 12th. It is a brunch show. AJ and I are going to be there. It's going to be awesome. VIP tickets, regular admission. Real Housewives of Potomac Season 5 will probably air in the spring 2020.
I hope so, yeah. And make sure y'all go to www.notforlazymoms.com and you'll see the first thing you see on that page is a way to get those tickets.
Yay! We love that.
Yes.
Monique, you are awesome. Thank you for being here today. Bye, everybody. People are saying I love Monique. Block that woman.